Okay, so I want to talk to you about what you can expect in the Hack Local Search course. And it's kind of interesting because rather than a really linear approach, I know that many of you are coming into this course with some experience already. You're in one place or another in your journey. And I don't know if I necessarily need to start you at one spot and go to the next and go to the next. All right, I'm going to say that number one, the foundational deal is something that we should all look at. But then you might be able to skip around. You might be able to go into whatever interests you the most, or whatever stage you feel yourself to be in. And you can always come back and you know, you could do chapter one, and then you could do chapter five, and then back to three. You know, whatever works for you. I'm gonna give you some ideas of where I think you may be in your journey right now. You might, for example, be a total noob when it comes to uh, marketing your business online. Okay, so you might be just thinking, well, geez, you know, I've just got a dream, you know, where I can actually enhance my sales or start my sales. You know, if you're just starting a business, I can enhance things by way of a digital presence, and particularly I'd like to be on page one of Google. Okay, so that's one spot. You know what? You may have done some things already, a spaghetti approach, if you will. You might have some presence already digitally. It's just not focused just yet. Okay, and that's fine. That's it's not just forgivable. That's awesome. And in fact, we're going to have you do more of it. uh, Here's a place that you may be. You may have a Google My Business listing, or you may have a website already, and so that's a possibility. And then you may also have a social media account or accounts. So, for example, Facebook is what we're going to really concentrate on. But you might also have YouTube, that's a social media. You might have Instagram, you might have Snapchat, all kinds of ways to communicate with your prospective customers. Okay? And then finally, you may actually already be on page one. And, you know, at one point or another in this course, you will be on page one. But being on page one doesn't necessarily guarantee you more business, does it? All right, it's what we're doing with that listing, and how we're using that as a tool to communicate with, to win the loyalty of, and to convert our audience into paying customers. Okay? All right, cool. So we're going to be looking through several stages, all right? And it's all about building. So we're going to build a foundation, and that is going to be the first module, and I'm going to encourage you not to skip it. I'm going to say, look, start there. And the reason is that if you start there, it's going to save you a lot in terms of duplicate work, okay? If you're just starting out digitally, or if you're a vet already, I'm going to say you're going to want to go to the Build Your Foundation module in Hack Local Search. Okay, here we're going to be doing avatar research, which means just getting to know your business. I'm sorry, not your business, your market, the people to whom you sell. Right, you're going to get so intimate with them that you know them better than they know themselves. And of course, part of that is going to be keyword research also. And so that foundational spot right there is going to be key. Okay. All right. So build your foundation. That is number one. Okay. And then you could skip around, but you know what? Let's just go in this sequence because it serves us. Okay. I'm just going to talk to you about what is going to be done at the awareness stage. All right. Rather than a spaghetti approach that's, you know, anemic, you know, a little bit. I've put up my digital presence a couple of places. I'm going to say let's put it up there hundreds of places, at least dozens of places. And some of that you can do by hand. I am going to walk you through how to do that. But we're going to also do some of it by way of third party. Okay. And I have a couple to recommend. The spaghetti approach is actually great because every place that you are in the US or overseas, you're going to have different local signals that Google rewards differently. Okay, we're looking at Moz.com, a really good source for SEO information, and found out that there were some places in the United States where, hey, a Facebook page was like the thing, okay? But then there are others where no, Yelp is the thing. And another, well, only the only thing that really gets rewarded is your website. Okay, so we're going to want to cover all those bases, but using the spaghetti approach, we're going to put out a lot of stuff out, and again, a lot of it can be done third party, meaning that you don't have to do it by hand all by yourself. But then see what kind of depth we have. The reason I call it a spaghetti approach is because of that saying where you throw some spaghetti on the wall, then see what sticks. All right, so that's what we're going to do when we're building awareness. Now, building the audience. You know, why do you have a website in the first place? If you do, all right. I'll tell you that I actually was on page one of Google multiple times before having a website. In fact, I had a page one presence for 4 years before starting a website. And now, of course, my website is also on page one. Okay, but what is that website for anyway? It's not a digital business card. It's a way for you to interact with folks that are interested in what it is that you sell. Okay, so I'm going to say that we're going to start using that responsibly. What should I say? Purposefully, right? We're going to do it with intent, intentionally, to build an audience. All right, we're going to be doing that. The Google My Business listing, if you don't think you've got one, you probably do. There's probably a listing out there like on Maps. So we're going to want to claim it, and we're going to want to properly choose the category that it represents, and then also add in some subcategories. And then we're going to want to mirror the Google My Business listing by or with, we're going to mirror it with our website, okay? Because the website will be structured exactly as the Google My Business listing is most most rewarded, okay? All right, very good. And then let's see. You might have social media. Well, social media is where we're going to take an audience and convert it into a following, right? Folks that begin to rely on your content, folks that are loyal to your brand and to your cause. Okay, so building your following is going to help you to go deep with your community and earn their loyalty. And Facebook has got a lot more resources than you do. Surprise, right? But getting on page one is really easy if you're able to hitchhike on Facebook. But even so, it's going to be important for you to use the right portions of your page to get onto Google. Okay. Let's see. Also, you don't have to have thousands of likes or thousands of followers on your Instagram or whatever. Just 100 likes on your page is a great start, and you'll be able to from there zero in to a very specific target. And again, that's going to be building your following. Okay, finally, we're going to talk about building your business. Again, you might be on page one, but being on page one doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be making money. Okay, it's cool to be on page one because you don't have any pay per click anymore. You don't have to pay per click. You don't have to pay monthly fees to an SEO wonk, to optimize your site and babysit it and make sure that it's always on page one. Okay, you don't have to pay for that month after month. Okay, but now it's going to be important to you to understand how to convert from that website, okay, or that listing, whether it's your own business, your own, what should I say, your own web presence, or a hitchhiking type of a situation. You're going to want to know how to convert, okay? I've got a very interesting story about how I was able to stop spending so much money on marketing and get my exact folks that I needed to target. And this actually happened when I was 19 years old. Now it's easier and faster and more profitable in this age of social media and search. So, folks, this is what you can expect in the next few weeks. And again, we're going to drip it out, but there are all kinds of places that you can jump in and get started. I'm going to recommend you go to the foundation first. After that, grab wherever you want to go. Okay? All right. We'll see you out there, and happy hacking.